I first saw my first Cobra in '67 while I was in college, the real one. Then I saw the first Superformance in '99 when I was over at an Auburn Cord Duesenberg show in Auburn, Indiana. And they were just priceless, beautiful cars. Never since then I wanted one, so that was '99. So over the period of about 4 years, Kathleen and I decided that we weren't getting any younger and that might as well enjoy life while we could. So every time we were out driving around, if we saw a green car, we would say, well, is that the color of green? And most of them failed until we found one. And I knocked on my neighbor's door and asked him for the PPG paint codes. And what we got was a gorgeous emerald green Cobra. And the hardest part was trying to live through the anticipation of the 6 or so months it took to come in after we'd ordered it. And we were lucky enough to order it with Bob Olthoff and Babe. And so when we came down to talk to them about finalizing the order, they were just absolutely great people. Well, later on in November of '03 is when we actually picked the car up. And again, it was gorgeous weather. Dennis checked us out and showed us what to do at the top and how to fold it up. And everybody seemed to agree that the color green was the one that we wanted. We drove it up, and since then this is '09 that we put about 21,600 miles on it. I drive it to work whenever the roads are acceptable, which in Northern Virginia is pretty much throughout the year. If I'm lucky, maybe twice a week I'll get a chance to go. We park it at the garage at the hospital and just have a great time. Kathleen and I both decided that this was not going to be a garage green, that we would drive it, and we've done that. We've taken it back to Indiana, Fort Wayne, where we're from. That's about a 1,000-mile round trip. We've taken it to the Outer Banks. In fact, we drove it down there during Hurricane Ivan. The rain was horizontal, the water was pooling on the road, and the car just stuck like glue. There was absolutely no hydroplaning. We would pass a semi or something on the road and you just had no feelings whatsoever of the wind blast off of it. The wind gust from Hurricane Ivan didn't even move it left or right on the road, so it was tremendous. We've had it down at the South Track on VIR. This is, I guess, my second time on the South Track. Had it down on the North Track with the Shelby American Auto Club, and that was just a tremendous experience. Both parts of VIR are just absolutely super. It's about a 5-hour drive, or maybe 6 or 7 hours if you take your time coming down with lunch. And we find that every time we have an event down here, the support is just absolutely great. This is a 1965 vintage car, but it has very current technology as far as the engine, which is the Roush Stroke 392, and the Superformance suspension, so it just absolutely handles like a dream. I'm not an expert mechanic, but I do most of the work on it myself. Jack it up and change the pads when we're ready to come down to the racetrack. Do the normal maintenance on it, the oil and everything. Other than that, the carburetor, the distributor, everything seems to be just pretty much maintenance free. It's truly a car that you can get in and drive and not have to spend a lot of time keeping it running like some of the others I've seen. I've heard some of the other Cobra owners, some of the other Kit Cobra owners comment on how squirrely and unpredictable some of their cars are when you drive. And when I asked Dennis about this originally, he said, it just goes where it's pointed, and that is truly true. The car is so straightforward. It's truly a point-and-shoot car, where basically with all the power available, it can get away from you, but some time on the skid pad and on the tracks make you pretty comfortable driving. And it is just a very easy car to drive on the streets. When I'm on the road at 70 miles an hour, we get 23 miles to the gallon with it. which is surprising considering the horsepower, but then again, it's a 24 or 2,500 pound car with the nice V8 in it, so it doesn't have to work too hard.